So we're going to pick back up on the graphs, tables, and equations. So for time's sake, I'm going to take you through the fast version of this. If you notice the x-axis, okay, at 2 shows that the line is at a y value of 0, okay, or even below 0. So we'll just move on over to over to 3, and when x equals 3, y equals 1. So x equals 3, y equals 1. When x equals 6, y equals 2. When x equals 9, y equals 3. So now what I'm going to beg you to do is think about the relationship between 3 and 1, 6 and 2, and 9 and 3. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to say, well, 3 minus 2 will give you 1. Yes, 3 minus 2 will give you 1. But 6 minus 4 gives you 2. And 9 minus 6 gives you 3. So that's not going to work. So we've got to try something else. We've got to think about it for a second and say, well, what else could be happening from 3 to 1? And some of you are going to say, well, if I take 3 and divide it by 3, I get 1. Good. What happens if you take 6 and divide it by 3? Well, you get 2. What happens if you take 9 and divide it by 3? Well, by golly, you get 3. So, what does that mean for our equation? Well, what that means is that y equals x divided by 3, so whatever the x value is divided by 3, or y equals 1/3 x. Okay, so let that soak in for a second. Y equals whatever x is, okay, so if x is 3, you divide it by 3 and you get your y, or 1. Or you could say that if x is 3, okay, so y equals 1/3, and then plug 3 in as your x, you could say, well, 1 times 3 is 3, and 3 divided by 3 equals 1. See? It works all the way around. I noticed the other day when you guys had a graph like this, it was giving you a lot of trouble. So I want to take a moment and talk about it. When x equals 1 here, so we got our x-axis here and our y-axis here. When x equals 1, what does our y equal? Well, it equals 5. So when x equals 1, y equals 5. How about when x equals 3? Well, when x equals 3, y still equals 5. Let's try a little further down. When x equals 5, y equals 5. Well, let me ask you one more question. What if x equaled 1,000? What do you think the y would equal? Yes, 5. So, no matter what, y equals 5. Now we're going to try one more of these tables to equations before we release you to finish your activity from yesterday and then receive your homework assignment for today. Let's take a look at this, and we're going to try to figure out which one of these formulas work for the table that we're provided with. So we'll start with A because, well, by golly, it doesn't look like C is the answer. So A says that y equals x plus 1. Now, one more time, in case you're stubborn, I will try the first one. Now, Miss Buford's telling you guys to try the third one, and I agree with her. But I know some of you guys are stubborn, so we'll try the first one. If I plug in 2 as my x value, I get 2 plus 1. Well, 2 plus 1 equals 3. So y equals 3. Yay, y equals 3. Well, if I go down to this one and I plug it in, I have y equals x plus 1. And plug in 3 as my x, I have 3 plus 1. And what does 3 plus 1 equal? 4. So y equals 4. Now, is that what's shown as the y value when x equals 3? No, it's not. So I know that A is not my answer. Now let's check y out real quick. And I know most of you guys looked at B, and you said, well, it's 2x minus 1, and that's tricky, and I don't want to mess with that. But let's go ahead and give it a try. So y equals 2x minus 1. And I'm going to go the Buford way and go to the third one and use 4 as my x value. So I'll go ahead and plug in 4 and do 2 times 4 minus 1. Okay, so once again, all I'm doing there is taking 4 and plugging it in for my x, and that's what you see there. 2 times 4 gives me 8 minus 1 equals 7. So did that work and give me that y value? Yes, it did. Let's try this one. If I do, let me get rid of this for you real quick. And I do it one more time. Y equals 2x minus 1. And I'm going to use 3 as my x value this time. So I have y equals 2 times 3 minus 1. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 1 equals 5. Hey, that worked too. So my equation for this table must be B. Y equals 2x minus 1. Okay. I hope this has helped you guys. We're now going to go ahead and pass back out your activity from yesterday. And when you complete that, you will get the homework assignment for tonight. And all the homework assignment is taking tables and turning them into equations. All you got to do is pick the right one. Good luck, guys.